What is a mobile crane? A mobile crane is a crane mounted on a wheel or tracted carrier. Okay. Use of mobile crane, like I said, mobile crane are used mostly in construction, lifting, steel erection, equipment installation, oil and gas facility, power plants, and yards. Yeah, used and we have different types of mobile crane. These are the two types I have here: all terrain and the rough terrain. Okay, the all terrain crane has capacity, heavy capacity than the rough terrain. The difference between these two cranes um, is the tires. This has up to 8 tires. This has on the rough terrain has up to 4 tires, while the all terrain has up to 8 tires. The rough terrain has one cabin, the operator's cabin, and also the driver's cabin. And the all terrain has two cabins, the driver's cabin and the operator's cabin. Once you drive this all terrain can travel long distance. It has that transmission power to travel long distance, while the rough terrain, yes, can travel short distance and used for installations. Now, another difference of these two cranes, the all-terrain has a very long boom section. You can even telescope up to 6 sections of the boom, while the rough terrain has limited section to the all terrain. Okay, so let's go into the rough terrain classification and main parts. Okay, this is a rough terrain. Let's look at the counterweight. At the counterweight section, on the boom section on the counterweight side, you're going to see this crane is manufactured with two wire drums. Two wire drums. One of the wire drum is the main hoist drum, while the other one is the auxiliary line. The auxiliary hoist is used for picking small loads, while the main hoist is used for picking heavier loads. Now, these two drums are located here. Not all rough terrain cranes has auxiliary line. Some all rough terrain cranes are built with only one section, which is just the main block, the main hoist line. So this one has two hoist line, two wire drums on its on this installed on this crane. So these two wire drums, the wire rope passes through this section on the boom section. Okay, and the first one it comes down through a sheave, and it rolls 3 to 4 times, come down. And when it comes down from the sheave, it's connected to a safety device called a limit switch. That limit switch is called the anti-two block. This is the anti-two block. Okay, the anti-two block is a safety device installed on cranes to help this block to help the crane operator not to pass its maximum limit on the hoist line. When once this block touches this anti-two block, it triggers an alarm. It triggers an alarm through the LMI, load moment indicator. It's a safety device also. I'll take you on 5 safety devices you can find in the crane. Now, this is the anti-two block. It's a sensor, a safety device that helps this block not to touch this section. If it touches the anti-two block and that safety device is not triggered, it will pass up based on absent-minded on the crane operator or whatever incompetency. It can hoist this block up and hit this boom section and damage the crane. So to mitigate that, this crane is designed with a safety device to help the crane operator. Whenever it reaches this anti-two block, it triggers an alarm and sees the lever, the joystick or the lever not to function again. So that is it, the anti-two block. So this auxiliary line passes through still this boom section, goes to the jeep. where you have a one part section, it comes down and also have an anti-two block to a safety device. So also what's the function that happens here still happens here to help this hook block auxiliary line not to run into the the boom section. So you can see the auxiliary line, you can see the auxiliary hook. Here you can see the main hook block, and you can also see the safety device connected between both of them. Okay, that's for there. Then you also have, this is the boom. This is the boom cylinder. This boom cylinder, when you drop the boom down, this boom cylinder retracts itself. This section you see here is a telescope wire that runs through this boom section. Once this boom telescopes out, it gives a reading in the LMI, letting the crane operator know you have telescoped, you've expanded the boom section to a certain feet. Is it 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55? Everything is seen on the LMI, which is the load moment indicator. Mind you, inside the crane, the mobile crane, you have two sections, the armrest, right and left. Every crane is swinging inside the left, a joystick. I will take you on that section much later. But let's deal with this now on the labeling of this crane. Now, this area here, you have the outrigger beam, and you have the outrigger jack. There are two sections here, hydraulic line. The hydraulic hoses are connected here to every function, and the air hose, air and hydraulic. So once you fire the machine to above a certain PSI and you've kicked the air, once you trigger this boom section, the beam comes out. When the beam comes out, you stabilize. This is the jack, pins up on the ground base after carrying out inspection on the soil or on the ground level, the texture. Okay, yes, the integrity of the ground. Yeah, so this is the rear. Rear is known as the back, REAR. Is the back section, boom section, beam, and outrigger jack. These are the tires. You can see there's water section to check your water based on visual inspection, check your oil, engine oil, and hydraulic oil, diesel tank is somewhere at the back, and also the air tank. So this is just the labeling of this crane. This is the main block. This is the hook. There is a safety device called a safety lash to secure with this boom, so you don't when you hook a load, it protects the load not to come out from there. Okay, so that's just for this um, rough terrain crane.